Barney.
Ribbon blackout.
Hi guys, welcome back to Shade Tree Hot Rods. Today we're working on our 1990 Chevy Cheyenne 2500. Let's see if you can spot the problem. We don't have a clutch anymore. It's the slave cylinder. We're gonna be replacing the slave cylinder today because that shouldn't be a thing. It should have a lot more resistance than that. So we're gonna get this thing pulled from its hiding spot and into the driveway to where we can work on it. Well, since I can't really get it out of gear, we're just rolling backwards. It's fighting against the engine right now. I'm just gonna get it down to more flat area, then I can start it with the starter. Oh. That's why you can't just leave a manual in gear on a hill. It'll probably still roll. Barney's still creeping. Let him get a couple feet further back, but I might as well go ahead and show you why that's the case, right? Slave cylinder's busted, meaning the clutch doesn't do anything, right? As you can see, we're in first gear, right? That's low gear up there. Clutch, push the clutch in, nothing happens. Can't get out of first. So here's what we're gonna have to do. Turn the key in first gear. The starter is going to run the truck until the engine decides to start, which is great because it's also cold. And I don't know if the battery's gonna do it. And you may ask, is that bad for the starter? Yeah, probably. But that's okay, because if we have to change it, we just change it out. But I have a new slave cylinder. And, well, I guess we're gonna go ahead and try it. And he's dead. Now we got to jump it off. I think, because I'm on a hill still, which, you know, like I said, not great for the starter. Starter is not going to be happy about this. But I'm hoping once I get it on flatter ground, maybe even get it turning, because I'm trying to turn it while I'm going. Maybe it'll, I don't know. I'm not doing this the right way, and that's okay, but I didn't want to lay on the grass to change out this slave cylinder. I'm a little bougie, and I wanted it up on the concrete, so we're going to keep struggling until we get there. Okay, bye-bye. Take 45. Take 45's a winner. And then to cut it off, you kind of just have to slam the brakes and kill it. Just like that. Is so easy every time. Okay, let's finally get to work 2 hours later. Here is our slave cylinder, and this is where we're leaking from. It's back here. The exhaust may be concealing it, but the problem is there's a little hole right here, and I doubt that hole's supposed to be there. But we're gonna go ahead and replace the slave anyways, and if I need to put something there, I will. But first things first, on this back side, up here is your clutch line. We're just gonna crack it open and take it off. If we go the right way, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Let's see, yeah. There we go. And it's probably gonna dribble some fluid out because I put a little fluid in here earlier to see if maybe I could just get enough pressure to take it out of gear, but I couldn't. I need to go get a towel because that's just gonna leak everywhere. It really shows my ability to plan ahead of my critical thinking skills. Yeah, let's just put fluid in there and then forget about it and just have no way to stop it from draining, so just let it drain out, huh? Great idea, right? Whatever. Call it flushing the system. There we go. So now that that's a thing, making a mess is kind of my specialty. We'll worry about that later. Right, we got two 13 millimeters right here. Soaked them down with some penetrating fluid because I figured they'd be pretty bad because they are rusty under here. It seems like there's a, oh, it's a stud. All right, noted. I don't know if it's supposed to be a stud, but it is now. Oh, all right, well that one wasn't a stud. Give this a little wiggle. This might be a slightly better angle. Bleeder line right here, or let's try that again. Clutch line right here. Bleeder screw right here. 2 bolts, and then give it a wiggle. There we go. And oh yeah, you can see that that's where she went. That's where fluid went. Oh well, we'll have to put that back on. Like that, yeah, okay. All right, let's get the new part. We'll pull this down for now. All right, it takes the same bolts, or the same nuts. So you got these studs, which they can come in and out, get them tightened down good. And just shove it back in, I guess. Try to orient everything the way it was. Give it a little push. Oh wait, I almost forgot our little shield that's covered in everything. Let's stick in there. I got a little peephole, but I don't really know what I'm supposed to be peeping, so we're just gonna wiggle it till we get her where she needs to go. Shimmy into place. All right, now we're gonna put our nuts back on wherever they went. Oh, what did you do with them? Like I said, master of being prepared. Start our nuts back on here. We'll run those down with the socket. Okay, now you don't want to tighten it too much on one side without hitting the other side, because you want it to go in there kind of straight. And by kind of straight, I mean you probably want it in there straight. So I don't know what the torque spec is. We're just gonna go with the German metric, good and tight, good and tight. There we go. All right, now you got your little stopper to make sure nothing gets in there. Shimmy this back in the hole. There we go. Now these have flare, no, I'm not even. These are flare nuts. Get the flare nut started. It's a lot easier if you line stuff up, but we didn't do that. Just tighten her back down. Alright, she's snug. Now, we gotta bleed it. I don't think I'm gonna be able to talk my wife into out here, so I'm gonna go see if I got some flexi tubing to slip on here, and I'll show you guys how to make a self-bleeder. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we got going on here. This is a homemade self-bleeder to where only one person has to be here to bleed a hydraulic system. Now, traditionally, you would have 2 people, one person pressing, you know, the breaker clutch, pressing the breaker clutch in order to bleed the system. You want to bleed the system to get air out because you don't want air in your system. Okay, that's just not good. So, what you would do is you would press it, build up pressure, you would hold down whatever pedal you're stepping on. Somebody's going to crack the bleeder open. It shoots out air or dirty fluid or whatever till you get solid clear fluid like what's in this bottle, and then you would close it and you'd build up pressure. If it's satisfactory, you'd move on. However, I'm only one person, so here's what we're doing. We have a regular bottle. I drilled a hole in the top for the tube to fit through. I zip tied this end of 1/4 inch fuel line to the top of the bleeder. It's running down with no real like upward angles for the air to get trapped in. There may be a little bit right there, but we'll deal with that as we come. Because this end is in fluid, you can use dirty fluid for this or clean fluid, whatever. It's not going to suck any air in. At least that's the theoretical. So, crack this bleeder open. I'm going to go fill up the master cylinder, or the clutch master. Loosen that up real good. I'm gonna go fill it up and start pressing the pedal, and you should see fluid start to come down here. And we're gonna do that until it feels good. Well, silly me, you saw that it was just kind of jumping a little bit. I didn't even have this thing tightened all the way. I think I just got it finger tightened and left it. Like, what am I doing? In any sense. Oh wait. Oh, I'm loosening it. Ah, you dumb. We're gonna tighten. Oh, working upside down is not my best friend. Anyways, we're gonna tighten her up, get her nice and snug, and see if that fixes our issue. I also think it's because the bleeder's on top, and so you know, I bet if I moved this, I'd have better success. If I moved to where the air, because the air wants to naturally go up. That's why your coolant fill ports are typically higher and your bleeder valves are going to be on top of stuff, because if you want to get air out, air is going to want to go away from the water to its an escape, which is upwards. So I think we're going to move our bleeder bottle. I think that may help us out. What do you guys think? Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got some bad news. I fixed it off camera. Now, I mean, you saw me install the slave. I mean, that's all well and good, but I was having a problem with an air pocket, and I was just trying things to fix it, and I didn't think to turn the camera back on, so that's on me. But I hope I've developed enough of a reputation with you guys that the explanation I'm about to give you is going to make sense. Okay, so as I was talking, that solo bleeder didn't work because there was a massive air pocket that I could not solve. Okay, so what we did, right, to bleed it, take your 1/4 inch line, right, you stick it on your bleeder, you pump it up, you open it up, you open up the bleeder, it blows out the air, the dirty fluid if you're just, you know, cleaning your fluid out. You close it, you let off the clutch, you do it again until you get good fluid and you get good clutch pressure. Okay, that wasn't happening because the slave cylinder had too much air in it, and I could not get it out by myself. They have things called power bleeders, which is just a big vacuum, okay? And you can get cheap ones that are basically just like a little hand thing and whatever. I didn't have one of those, didn't want to go to the store. However, I kind of did have one. This right here is just a regular old oil transfer pump. I stuck one end of the hose in there, which it was a perfect fit, just shoved it in there, and I just pumped my little heart out until I started getting good pressure. The other problem that I had, and I didn't put it in right the first time. I didn't install the slave itself. So you see this little torpedo bit on the end of the rod? Okay. There is a little hole on the, here, maybe I can show you real fast. It's gonna be loud, so I'm just gonna show you, I'm just gonna point out the hole. That hole, right there, all right? That hole has a purpose, believe it or not, and it's not just an inspection hole like I thought it was. Your clutch fork has a little dimple for that rod to go into, and so whenever you apply hydraulic pressure with the clutch, okay, the hydraulic fluid moves through and it pushes that rod out, right? That pushes into the clutch fork and allows the clutch to disengage. That's how this works. Fantastic. So, don't die on me, Barney. Anyways, I didn't have that rod aligned, so even if I had like a super stiff clutch pedal, there was nothing pushing back. The clutch fork was not pushing back, so nothing was happening. Long story short, you gotta wiggle your little finger in there and help align that rod as you're pushing the slave cylinder in. Okay, super energetic explanation out of the way. It's time to go drive this truck. I really hope this is a good angle and that the sound isn't too bad. But man, this is the best the clutch has felt in a while. I also don't want it blowing out. But oh, it's so much, it disengages so much better, so it's not as jerky. Alright, let's find out the 1-2. Oh my gosh. It's like a world of difference. We just made Barney a half-ass truck after all. Look at us go. So since we got it fixed, and I didn't really show you guys the operation of it, right? I want to show you a diagram and kind of talk you through how this works, okay? So basically you press your clutch pedal, all right? This piston is going to shove fluid through here, all right? This is going to be your clutch line. That fluid is going to press this push rod out, and the push rod is going to connect to the clutch fork, which is going to activate your clutch. It's going to deactivate your clutch, actually. It's going to pull it off of the flywheel. But that is the part that I was messed up on. The push rod that comes out of the slave cylinder was not contacting the clutch fork at all. And so that's the problem we were having. Anyways, that is a very long process on my end of replacing a slave cylinder on a 1990 Chevy Cheyenne 2500. I hope you enjoyed. I'll try to get a little better about filming every step that I do, just so you guys can see kind of the process and just see me mess up. Because, I mean, that's what this is. It's a learning experience, not a professional. Anyways, we've been Shade Tree Hot Rods, and we'll see you later.